This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy! Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Catbus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guests and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello there.
Hey, Catbus Russ here. Thanks for checking out this episode of 90 for Chill, the podcast. A bonus episode, I should say, because it's going to be a Mark L. Lester holiday season at least. So I guess for the next couple of years, we're going to have annual Mark L. Lester weeks on this podcast. So we'll start with Showdown in Little Tokyo with Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren, the movie that told me I have to get to B-Fest. And we also speak with Gregory Carl about that movie and the movie that was part of the ultimate DVD double pack that I found, Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The story from Frank Dukes, not the story of Frank Dukes. With that said, I also like to make it official. I'm going to be joined by the boys at NOLA Film Scene at Fan Expo New Orleans on January 10th, Friday, 2 p.m., to do our panel at the show. It's going to be interesting because I don't think they actually open the main floor until 3 that day. So hopefully that's just when all the extravaganzas happen, but who knows? It's just great to have these two young actors. I just said young. It's rare that I actually get to talk to people older than me on the panel or the show, so I mean, yes, I have the poetic critic, the big sister, but 2 years, is that really that much older? I'm still looking for a guest for 90 for Chill, the podcast 200, hence why the schedule is going to be a little iffy for the next couple of weeks, because until I get that guest, I am not going to be issuing the official episode 200 of the show. So to be that guest, send an email to russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. Offer me a film, a director, an actor, a theme, or in this case, we can just talk about 2024 cinema, and not just 2024 cinema, the movies we saw in 2024. Otherwise, please rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps. 5 stars preferably. Be as honest as you'd like in the comments. And if you want to support the podcast further, visit patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlix. For $3 a month, you get a sticker and a shout out like the one that Tim Bates, my guest on the Arena and Night of the Demons episode, gets, alongside my good friend, The Scoop Staley, an old AAW interviewer and a guy who would show up on the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast before they just went total WWE marks. With all that said, thanks Station Marie Harden for keeping an eye on me, making sure I stay out of too much trouble. She was always a fan of a little. And I hope she's doing the same for everybody else she touched in her life, and I hope she just adores the presence of Skimbleshanks, the one-eared angel, the fluffiest cat that I ever knew. He also thought he was people. I mean, the guy would try to converse. I think that might be a thing with fluffy cats, fluffy boy cats. That's probably for another time. So thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast, and enjoy the show.
Previously on 90 for Chill, the podcast.
Hello, it's your host, Russ Stevens, for 90 for Chill, the podcast. To set the mood for this episode, I ended up doing some inadvertent promotion of it last week, based on a comment from an old friend from the Peoria wrestling scene. I think a generally good guy overall, Chris Ballard, a.k.a. Chris Hazard. But he is the type who does like to rile us quote-unquote marks up. I just thought it kind of places us in the right mood for the show. His comment was, Bret Hart sucked. He had the charisma of a dead cat. His time at the top coincided with the worst ratings in decades. Bret Hart sucked. As I said, marks. Honestly, there's no shame in it, as long as you don't try to be too smart about it. And maybe this is the entire problem with the conversation, or the comment. Obviously now, who cares about ratings? Well, especially in the 90s when wrestling was your top cable draw anyhow, and it wasn't until 95 they really matter. So, I digress. My response to this was Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels, when Shawn Michaels wanted to work, time on top coincided with the worst ratings. Hart was the semi-main who could at least make you consider the shit show that would close out. He was the best technician with a character. His character was closer to an actual Zen warrior smacking samurai asshole. For those who came from shoot combat, he seemed the most authentic. Hart could make anyone look like a contender in Bloodsport. Mid-90s super heavyweights were just the sumo guy, except they never faced Frank Dukes. To which Chris responded, that's a lot of words to say Bret Hart sucked.
For over 400 years, they've developed their own mysterious traditions. For over 400 years, they've had a strict code of honor and unparalleled standards of respect. For over 400 years, they have terrorized the streets of Japan. Now, they want to control the city of Los Angeles. Determined to leave their mark in blood. Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee are ready for a showdown in Little Tokyo. They're two LA cops who are hungry for a little takeout. Dolph Lundgren, Brandon Lee. Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
Hold on to your butts.
Sorry to interrupt this podcast, but I just want to make sure I clarify one thing. I think I've mispronounced this actor's name several times. He's a legendary Japanese-American actor, starred in movies like Mortal Kombat, Rising Sun, Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton version. One of the good things about that. And The Man with the Iron Fist 2, also the Tekken franchise. The actor's name is Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. I think I nail it in this podcast, but no guarantees, so apologies all around.
Now available on video cassette. For centuries, the Society of the Black Dragon has sanctioned an ancient rite of combat known as the Kumite, woven only to the world's most lethal warriors. It has never been won by a Westerner. You are not Japanese. I can do it. Now, for the first time, the true story of America's super agent, Frank Dukes, can be revealed. Uncle Sam can't afford to let you get hurt. I'm going to Hong Kong. Frank is going to fight in the Kumite, and we're here to stop him. An awesome human weapon. It hurts me just looking at it. Who infiltrates the Chinese underworld. I did not come this far to stop now. Take him. To enter a forbidden competition.
Couldn't you just get me in?
Strict rules, no press.
You telling me you never break rules?
Where every fighting style, every worthy opponent, every deadly technique clash in savage combat. I'm separated
I feel like the Joker was written as a totally different movie at first.
Oh, I'm sure they wanted to try basically making it a prequel. Maybe even explain Heath Ledger. I don't know. I really I enjoyed it. I think it's kind of overrated. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is excellent in it. De Niro's great.
Yeah, it's not that good. You are right. Like
Yeah.
it's good at first, then you watch it a second time, and like, oh, what was so great about this in the first place? It's still all right though. I like King of Comedy a little bit better.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't gotten around the King comedy. That's definitely been on the queue though, and even the shots by Phillips. It's definitely, I think, really walked that line. Just wanting to be darker than King of Comedy. But as you said, your girlfriend watches the murder porn, dare I say, and we were just having a conversation at work today where we're talking about ranking Tarantino movies, and we get a coworker, say 25 years old, just goes and said, "Oh, I can't watch movies with you guys. You watch weird stuff," as she's watching murder porn on her phone. Yeah, it's a interesting world that we live in. But that said, welcome to 90forchill.com, the podcast. I am your host. Cool Movies Darth is the handle I'm trying to get over. That's CM Darth on Letterboxd, and you can just call me Russ Stevens. I'm sure you've been doing that the last 26 episodes. And this week, I have my guest, Gregory Carl. Thanks for taking the opportunity to come on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Any opportunity to talk with you? Like, you mentioned me the movies that we were going to talk about, and like, oh yeah, this guy knows exactly what I like.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Van Damme, and it's like, I don't know. I can't really say I've. I kind of fell off on him after probably. I didn't really pay attention, I guess, after Double Team, which is a film I do need to give a shot. I mean, Mickey Rourke is always intriguing. I like most people, I think, I didn't really pay much attention to Van Damme again until JCVD.
Yeah, I haven't seen JCVD yet. Yeah, we just kind of started doing podcasts. Me and my buddy Seth Bates. He's a huge Van Damme fan. It's actually a Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Van Dam show. We call it Van Damme It. We're just kind of recording episodes now. I'm trying to learn production, trying to make it not suck so bad. But I got 3 kids running around, so it's kind of hard to find the time and patience to figure all that out.
Yeah, I would imagine that. My cats, they're pretty chill. Got an old 13-year-old and the little brat that I have custody of at this time. It's my ex's cat. She moved in with someone who already had a cat, and of course they happen to be the son of the head of the condo complex, so he can't break the rules. So
yeah. Yeah, I know how that goes. Cats are way easier. I do envy you. But it's been a lot of fun rewatching these movies, because a lot of them I actually haven't seen since I was a kid. And they are a lot of fun to rewatch. We're about like 4 or 5 episodes in. I'm trying to talk him into doing a Rob Van Dam episode finally, but he just kind of refuses to do anything regarding ECW because he can't stand the Bill Alfonso and the whistle.
Oh, come on, baby.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not trying to do revisionist history.
Yeah.
We're not the WWE.
No.
Those are some of the greatest matches he ever had.
He never had a bad one. Well, I can't say he ever had a bad one with Jerry Lynn. Just, didn't appreciate the Scotty Anton angle, but
I don't remember Scotty Anton.
Scotty Riggs was what he was best known as.
Oh, okay.
But that was the birth of the Van Terminator eventually. And the Van Terminator, the coast to coast. So I actually trained under Danny Daniels up in we trained in Davenport. We did the shows in Chicagoland. I've yet to run into Rob Van Dam in my travels, but basically I came from the same instructor of Seth Rollins, so
Right on.
yeah, just
That's cool.
yeah, just depression and funding a heroin addiction that wasn't mine. Just led to too much just a lot of
Yeah, my
just a
co-host was
mess.
into the same stuff minus the pro wrestling.
Well, that's I didn't fool around with it too much, but it's yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's actually part of the idea of the show was that maybe we become better people after go studying their work a little bit. Because Jean-Claude Van, a lot of his films do kind of have a genuine have a theme of like perseverance and whatnot.
oh, I still tear up at the end of Lionheart.
Oh yeah, that's actually gonna be our next movie.
All right,
Next one we're doing. His favorite movie, actually. I
well,
don't know if I've ever seen it from beginning to end.
yeah, it's a good one. I mean, it's a fun one. It's kind of Bloodsport light, which is I guess brings us to the theme of this episode is what I call the greatest DVD combination that I ever purchased, which was Bloodsport and Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah, that's a dope combo.
Yeah. I think since it was a weird and probably limited run because it was an MGM movie with a Bloodsport and Warner Brothers flick with Showdown, and I think they eventually the easy double pack to find now is probably Time Cop and Bloodsport. And Time Cop's good, but I think that was like the end of the renaissance for Van Damme.
Yeah, it was definitely close to it.
So with these movies, and I guess I'm bringing up the heroin era of my life, I've ended up probably purchasing 3 times. The first time I had to go and pawn some stuff off. Those movies were just around at the time. Then I found the double pack, and then eventually, did digital. I wanted to really see Showdown in full widescreen, and ended up purchasing them all again on iTunes. So not as many times as I've repurchased Star Wars movies, but it's getting up there. So here's hoping I can keep my TVs running and don't need to make that 8K jump.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. I think Showdown, I remember I have vague memories of as a kid before I finally watched it all the way through. I watched it a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I rewatched it last night. Bloodsport a couple nights ago. G.I. Joe the movie, actually, from 1987, the animated film. No, really. I only really enjoyed it just because this is where you need to take the live action movies, give Dwayne Johnson some organic super soldiers to fight against. And
yeah.
So, and I don't know. We'll probably skip giving Sergeant. I'd say skip bringing Sergeant Slaughter in, and definitely no to the full head of hair that his character has in as Sergeant Slaughter in G.I. Joe the movie.
I'm not going to judge it. I've been falling asleep watching an old tournament anime called Baki the Grappler. So,
I really only saw the OVA. Maybe a anime for me. My time was the late 90s. I was in high school, mowing my lawn, parents' lawn, getting $25 and then spending it on a single hour VHS tape of some anime.
oh yeah, I remember those days. I'm not really into it now. Just every so often, one will catch my attention, and I'll start watching it. Like Baki, I think Netflix bought it, and they started doing new ones.
Yeah,
and I caught those, and they were pretty decent. They're just ridiculous, tournament anime.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay much attention to it. There's cool gore. It's yeah. What more do you want in 20 minutes?
Oh, I hear you there. It's just, I guess, it's just become way too easy, I think, to access anime. I just don't. It's almost like I missed the challenge of finding the tapes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's so terrible now too. Like they really lost me when everything involved power levels.
Well, I think that's probably solely a stateside thing. Dragon Ball Z was the biggest thing out of Toonami, so I mean that was the half hour. I mean, I was never a Dragon Ball fan. I just found the storytelling to be ridiculous for the most part. Like Planet Namek is about to explode in 30 seconds, and we'll come back next week. And at
Yeah.
the end of that episode, Planet Namek is going to blow up in 15 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
I know time's relative, but
I never was either. I'd more like the feature film kind of stuff. Like I like Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed and all that kind of stuff.
I think both those were Masumi Shiro, but now I'm just getting nerdy.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I guess just because we mentioned Ghost in the Shell, did you see the Scarlett Johansson film?
I think I tried not to think about it. I think I tried watching it several times. I couldn't do it. Something about CGI always rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, I could totally understand that. It's great if you're building worlds. But if you're trying to bring it in a contemporary setting, the not so distant future, it's not gonna fit yet. My opinion. I mean, we're doing good things with de-aging now. That's about all I really can say for that. Practical is, well, you said you're a horror fan, so I mean, you obviously understand how important practical is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what they can do with just angles and makeup, man. It's nuts. I can never do that shit. The CGI, like you just always know that it's fake. Like you never question it for a second. You just know.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, I think it's fine in Star Wars because it as I say, it's an entire different world. But yeah, you can definitely, if you're not in that world, you're definitely seeing where it's placed and such. And actors are getting better with it, but they're still just following tennis balls. So, I mean, mocap's really helped out. I mean, it'll get there, but I think the biggest problem with CG is that it's so easy to access. And for this podcast, I've watched a lot of campy stuff, and you get horror movies that want to decide, horror or action movies that want to use CG. I shouldn't be too harsh. Phantasm 5 is guilty of this. Not actually having bullets fire and squibs. Well, they might have squibs, but no, it's all muzzle flare and sound fully instead of actual blanks. I've seen movies and somebody goes through a pane of glass and you see the CG glass break, but you definitely see the glass behind it. So yeah, that's the biggest problem with CG. But fortunately, we are talking about a couple of movies way before that time, or most prosthetic thing you get in Showdown in Little Tokyo is a cut off finger. The head. Yeah, the head. The funny thing with Showdown in Little Tokyo really is, and I guess this is a big drug scare that they were doing, say in junior high, 91-ish, 90. My older sister was going through DARE at that time, and I guess they ran a video about ice, and ice is crystal meth, and how it was going to come from Asia and take over. And it's like, I mean, white people ruin all the drugs, man. Like,
we really do.
I mean, well, no, crack is for the minorities, but I really need that extra juice, so we create meth. So it's just
I got a kick out of that giant meth pipe that one lady was smoking out of before she got murdered.
Yeah,
big dumb pipe.
Right, and
and how it was all just coming down conveyor belts too, just in big chunks.
Right. No, like I'm not advocating the use of meth, but
oh no, of course not.
But with how they were producing it and such, I mean, at least it's kind of controlled. I mean, it's better than seeing a police tape on my neighbor downstairs because they had a meth lab and he was on probation. Like,
Yeah, I mean that lady would have been fine if she just wasn't talking on the phone.
well, true, yeah.
I mean, meth didn't kill her. You know, it was her mouth that got her killed.
Yeah, well, I'm not, as I say, I'm not pitching that. I'm just more of just saying, like, I'd rather the Yakuza with such nice Japanese production that scared us into stepping up for maybe 10 years technology wise.
Yeah,
Like,
hey, getting beheaded by Shang Tsung's a pretty metal way to go.
that is true. That is true. So with Showdown in Little Tokyo, then I was just writing down some notes. I think it could technically be in the same universe as Bloodsport, actually, because the first boss in the movie, who always screw up his name, Kari Haruyuki Tagawa, I think. I mean, I will definitely have to put that correction in at some point.
Was that the guy from Ninja Turtles?
No. I can't immediately pull up his name, but no, Shang Tsung. So he's
that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the other, like his underboss.
No. I mean, he's been in Carrie had been in so many movies I've seen after Mortal Kombat. Like I didn't see Showdown in Little Tokyo probably till the early aughts, and that was just after I saw Rapid Fire, and I was kind of looking to find the rest of Brandon Lee's filmography, which I have possessed at one point, including Laser Mission, where his first film where he's a spy trying to save a Russian Ernest Borgnine.
I almost watched that movie the other night, actually.
Well, I know I did see the riff tracks of that as well on Amazon Prime, so that's I don't know if it's still there, but that would be your Mike Nelson and the two guys who voiced the robots at the end of the original Mystery Science Theater 3000 run. Just doing their thing. So,
yeah, I've seen a few of those. Mm-hmm. But Dolph Lundgren I got a kick out of in this movie.
Oh, I mean, I honestly kind of wonder why it was Van Damme who ended up getting all these leading roles and not Lundgren. I mean, yeah, he did Masters of the Universe right after Rocky 4, which, like, okay, yeah, we shouldn't have really... Stock wasn't really that high on him.
Yeah, it really wasn't for some reason. He had a lot of straight video stuff that I remember watching growing up. He wasn't in a whole lot of real big things, but I always kind of liked it. Was it maybe because his command of English wasn't the greatest still at the times? I know it took him a lot of tries in Masters of the Universe.
Well, maybe back in '87, but he's like, I've got just as a visual going on right now, I've got Universal Soldier running on mute, and I would say he had a better control of the language than Van Damme ever did.
Yeah.
And he was definitely more in the mold of a Schwarzenegger. I mean, he wasn't Schwarzenegger size, but you match Van Damme up against Lundgren, it's like not as extreme, but it's like the Jet Li Lundgren fight from the Expendables.
Yeah, I think Van Damme kind of got smaller with time. Like he never really focused on size. He was more into the flexibility. So I mean, Van Damme wouldn't be shit if not for the splits. If he couldn't do the splits, like no one would give a shit about him. I mean, let's be honest. It was the splits that put him over the top.
Well, I gotta think back because I did go and take my ex up to Chicago to see Mystery Science Theater 3000 live. The movie they did was No Surrender, No Retreat, which is Van Damme's first official movie. Yep. So it's no dialogue, and it's just he's the Russian. I can't recall if I can't actually recall if he got to do the splits in that one.
No, he didn't. That movie is so much fun, though.
Oh,
it's so dumb.
It's definitely one I definitely appreciated seeing with Jill Hodgson and the bots just riffing over it, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
I still want to do the thing with the sandbags. I want to hang the sandbags and just let the 8-year-old go nuts. That shit just looked fun. Like a lot of that training just looked like my 8-year-old playing.
yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, you could, let him play with it, but I wouldn't show him the movie. I mean, it's just the bastardization of Bruce Lee in that one is just,
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
yeah. But as they say, with the Bloodsport and Showdown Little Tokyo being the same universe, it goes to the, I guess you'd call him the bookie in Bloodsport. You know, how you doing, Dukes? Feeling good. Duke's my man. And I am sorry for my Asian audience right there. And then he shows up as the first boss before the one who fails to give in to inevitability. And we just find that crushing. He ends up being Tanaka, the original owner of the Bonsai Club and host of the underground fighting. You know, maybe he got over from Hong Kong after the Kumite. I mean, there had been 11 years in continuity at least.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Mm. But definitely Showdown and Bloodsport, two different movies besides that. Bloodsport is it's a movie that's had a lot of impact in any kind of combat situation. While Showdown in Little Tokyo, it gives you all the stunts you couldn't get in a movie like Bloodsport. I mean, the realism is thrown out the window.
Oh yeah, for sure. Showdown's just straight out ridiculous, which is part of its charm.
Yes. Oh yeah, and it's directed by Mark L. Lester, whose most famous film is Commando. It explains why I think only one. Well, it's the same fight every time in a Mark L. Lester movie, except for this. That director's kind of become trying to fill in the footsteps for Roger Corman when he finally leaves this world. And I did see a movie for him I reviewed on a podcast episode called Groupie, which was I don't know why he directed it because he doesn't do much. But it's basically a crazy chick movie inspired by the Great White Band Fire.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fairly recent then.
2015, so still 6 years, still 6 years removed from the fire. I mean,
oh shit! I didn't think it was still making movies anything that recent.
Yep. So, well, as I say, he doesn't usually direct. He's, I think you could see his name attached to a bunch of Asylum films if you are familiar with that studio. I mean,
somewhat. I just watched a movie of his called A Class of '84.
Yes, Michael J. Fox is actually in that one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one, but I have seen. He did a movie with Mark Dacascos, who I'm surprised stock is still middling. Mark Dacascos from Only the Strong, I think, is his finest work, but. Well, his finest work is John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. He's plays Zero, the assassin who's pretty much in charge of assassinating John Wick.
Okay, I haven't seen part 3 yet.
Oh, were you a fan of 1 and 2?
Oh yeah, I've seen 1 and 2. I just haven't gotten to 3. This whole past year I've been pregnant, baby, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that.
I've missed a lot of things, but I don't like a lot of new things though. Like we were talking before, it's too long. Like once I see like a 3-hour runtime, I'm already kind of checked out.
Well, you see, I'm kind of miffed at John Wick because it's 1 hour. The original is 1 hour 41 minutes, and it's like, oh, you would have cut 2 minutes off. I could have done it on the podcast, and then I would have an excuse to do 2 and 3. Because I think if a movie does great with 90 minutes, then, well, you got to expand on everything. So I don't mind it going, by the end of chapter 3, it's 2 hours, 15 minutes. And it's like, yeah, but it keeps getting bigger and grander. I can accept that. And the most recent thing with Van Damme that I saw is the Kickboxer reboot. I think the first one, Kickboxer Resurgence, which I don't know why they gave that title since it's a reboot, where Van Damme basically plays the teacher. That movie was pretty good. Ends with a fight with Dave Bautista. So just before Batista really skyrocketed. And then they did a sequel, which a lot longer, a lot more contrived. I mean, I kind of dug the Kickboxer franchise. I wasn't really really a big fan of the first one. Mark Dacascos actually is the one who's in the fifth one as the Kickboxer.
Yeah.
They did a sequel, Vengeance, and as I say, it's really convoluted. Mike Tyson is in prison with our hero, kind of teaching him things. A lot of MMA guys. Christopher Lambert is the boss, the big fighter replacing Tong Po. Tong Po is portrayed by the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Oh shit.
Yes.
I can't wait till we work our way up to that one.
Oh,
I did like the Kickboxer franchise too growing up. I loved martial arts movies growing up, like Best of the Best and Kickboxer. I like the old Shokasugi ninja movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
all that stuff.
Ninja.
I didn't get into horror till later.
No, I didn't either. I was raised pretty. I can't say my parents were puritanical or anything. I was just essentially the oldest child. My older sister, she does great and everything, genius level IQ. She's just socially awkward. She has Asperger's disorder, so it's not her thing to be normal.
Yeah.
So, and not that there's a problem with that. I'd rather be weird than normal. At least that's what I put on my dating profiles, and I don't really ever see that as a corresponding answer. But basically, my parents would follow the MPAA as they had more kids. I had have a little sister and a little brother. They got more lenient. And really, by the 90s, my dad's not a big movie goer anyhow. So my mom would want to see a movie like Interview with the Vampire or Judge Dredd. So she didn't want to go alone. So I got to tag along for those R-rated movies.
Right on.
So, but when it came
to horror, she had good taste.
Oh, well, Judge Dredd 95 is...
Yeah, but I mean, we all were hoping that would be good.
Well, yeah, but I mean... when
she didn't know.
Well, she was there for Amanda Sante, so...
Okay, that's fair.
As Rico. I didn't get into horror, really. One, I was scared of gremlins for 25 years. Well, no, probably only, yeah, but eventually got over that, and that's like one of the greatest satires of all time. But watching the old IFC on cable, where you actually get where it was all about independent film, I saw a documentary on Dario Argento, the Italian director, pretty much responsible for making sure we'd have Dawn of the Dead, 1978. And, you know, then there was a real fascination with the stuff. So needless to say, as we were chatting before the podcast on Facebook Messenger, I'm not totally adept to all the slashers. Seen Halloween, seen Nightmare, haven't seen that many of the sequels.
Yeah, I was never a huge slasher guy either. Me and my co-host just watched a movie for fun called Pieces. I think it was an Italian movie. It definitely I took from it.
I think
it's the black gloves and the.
I think it's Spanish. Actually, I have seen Pieces. That is, and so like that's where you kind of have to worry about. Am I actually twisted with some of those scenes? I mean, I was kind of like, well, this should be fun, but I'm taken out of it when you have a 1948 flashback and you see a pennant on the little kid's wall that says Boston Patriots. No. Boston Patriots didn't happen until 1960, so I'm out.
That helped. I'm not a baseball guy, so I was.
The Patriots they're now the New England Patriots, so it's a football reference.
Oh, see,
you see, my dad's from Buffalo, New York, and my family still holds original season tickets to the Bills. So
right on.
Yeah, so I know all that. So yeah, but Pieces is as I say, that's more of just me being a nerd, and not really the movie's fault. It's a
goofy, fun movie.
Yeah, well, and kind of right. I mean, I appreciate a good bladder release, before they know they're going to get it. So that's the kind of stuff I worry about. Worry about myself.
Yeah, I like Korean horror a lot.
I've really
know a lot of that.
I've really only seen I Saw the Devil, which was excellent.
One of my favorites.
And Old Boy. I do have sympathy for Mr. Vengeance in my queue, as in I found a copy for cheap and just never opened it.
Itchy the Killer is pretty bizarre if you've never seen it.
Oh, I've got myself a good Takashi Miike film collection.
Right on.
Dead or Alive, Crow Zero, Sukiyaki Western Django, the Japanese. I mean, he just does so much weird stuff. I'm still not quite ready for Visitor Q. That one seems a little too twisted. But then again, this guy will direct children's movies too. I mean, I think he ended up directing 100 movies in over 20 years. So,
no shit.
Yeah,
I have to get into him a little more.
Audition. That is really where it's at when it comes to that's Miike's masterpiece.
I have to remember that. I am a big. I've never been a huge director guy. After a while, I'll see so many movies and I'll notice, oh, that guy directed like 5 movies that I love, and then his name will finally be logged in my brain.
Right. I don't know when I really got into the director portion. I don't know. Maybe it was transitioning from wrestling in my 20s to struggling screenwriter in my 30s, and now we're into podcasting for the 40s.
Yeah, I tried my hand at stand-up comedy, and now I'm just trying to figure out podcasting.
Yep. Well, I was fortunate enough had returned to ICC in East Peoria for to try getting into screenwriting, and the only path I could really see otherwise was just taking a bunch of mass media courses. And when I did my podcast for Spaceballs originally with Jessica Quaz from Second Chance Movies, she said, "So are you just using Audacity?" And it's like, okay, that was a program I was using 15 years ago. Is it still good? So the answer is yes. And
thank God, that's what I'm using now.
Right. Just
I don't know any better.
Yeah, well, it's free. I mean, we can't speak highly enough of the platform, and I haven't had any what happened with that episode was I usually, as you heard, the podcast, this meeting is now being recorded. I usually just go and convert the audio from this into, there's a program you can download that converts this file into MP3, and then you can play around with Audacity on it. So you could do Zoom recordings. Our mistake was she thought I was going to record. So I'm recording this on both Audacity and the Zoom conversation. I didn't know I was supposed to record it on Audacity. So,
oops.
But I took whatever I could from that, from her side of the audio. And I think we came up with something decent, at least expressing her love for Mel Brooks and the Star Wars franchise in general.
Yeah, I just listened to your the Spiral episode.
Yeah, just dropped today, actually.
Oh, is that? I didn't realize that was that new.
Yeah, it dropped. Well, that was my lunchtime. Went over to Best Buy, and and picked up spot this. If I figured if they had the Steelbook, I saw, as I said on the podcast, I saw Spiral like the last show they had in Champaign. So yeah, picked up my Steelbook and then ended up picking up a higher end microphone for the podcast because at some point, right now at least, the plan's going to Wizard World up in Chicago in October. So I figured, well, you can definitely find people who are wanting to record a podcast. So I better use the Zoom podcast recorder as well. So finally got myself an XLR mic for that one, and otherwise it's all still a lot of jerry rigging.
Yeah. Oh man, I miss a good convention. I'm jealous now.
Yeah,
that'd be a good time.
Oh, the best was, I mean, of course, it was the end of the world afterwards. It was C2E2, Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo 2020, which was on the leap year weekend, and that was the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. So obviously I was really more concerned about getting a ticket for that. But yeah, it's they're coming back slowly but surely. I mean, well, we'll find out with the Delta variant how that shapes up.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone cares anymore, honestly.
It's not for me. It's not the point. But I'm a very, as I think they said it. You know, I admire a lot of the messaging in Showdown in Little Tokyo. I mean, Tia Carrere, it's great to see her singing in another movie. I mean, it's great that it was beyond Wayne's World.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she had a great little speech, which I think is just good for action movies and action heroes in general. Is like, you know, you do the right thing because it's the right thing. I don't know. Then it gets all messed up with that Brandon Lee talking about seeing Dolph Lundgren's anatomy. I mean, I didn't really want to jump into that, but I'm really kind of thinking
it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's kind of on the Metro side, the very least. Maybe. I mean, it's early acting for Brandon Lee. Still, it's only his second movie. So
but to be fair, like he tries to be funny like the entire movie.
Oh, that's
like I'm not landing. Like, all right, talk about his dick. Work blue now.
Yes. No. It's it takes the. So it basically, and this might be the biggest critique you could have against the movie. I mean, besides for the jumping over the car with the sidekick. I mean, Dolph as they pointed out in the movie, the first time they meet each other, you know, all that upper body weight makes you slow.
Yeah,
I'm not slow. Well, you didn't hit me. Well, if I hit you, you wouldn't be here. I'm not arguing, but you didn't hit me. I mean, there's some great dialogue. I mean, it's not him trying to act blue. I just think, like, I don't know. I think there may have been something in the character that they wanted to worship Dolph Lundgren by the end, or it's a little nod to our more open-minded friends.
It's just odd. They're about to kill a bunch of bad guys, and it's like, hey, let's comment on your dick real quick.
Yeah.
Your dick is huge, by the way.
You're right.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe if I was in, like, I don't know. I've been in locker rooms. Oh, geez. You know, since I was 12 years old, and it's like, just look people in the eye. Do not look down. Look people in the eye. So I have no concept of size. All I can say is if I'm watching porn, it's basically, well, you know, not really. I guess I would say I'm not really into the racial stuff. Just I can't relate to the tools in that one. That's all I'll say there.
Fair enough.
But I'm not a size guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, it is because it does lend to. He had to have just been sitting in his room watching them the entire time, and that's creepy.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. I'm just saying, I think he may have been more, as I say, it's either hero worship or a homosexual awakening.
It probably was. Either way, that Dolph Lundgren acting Asian is just beyond cheesy. Just
well, I think that's a finer point though when it comes to Lundgren films and Van Damme films. I think the best ones come up with an excuse for his accent. So as to say, I got Universal Soldier just running in the background right now, but they bring up our female reporter character brings up, well, you're from Louisiana, so that must be the accent. And then you look at Hard Target, where he's playing a Creole wanderer, and back to Bloodsport, his parents are immigrants. So yeah, I think that's just but
that could have been a lie. I mean, do you ever look into Frank Dukes? Everything that man says is probably a lie.
All right, I have seen an interview with Frank Dukes with MMA commentating legend Michael Schiavella. Actually, I take this from another commentator, Joey Styles, when he was asked by Steve Austin about New Jack and what's real, what's not with New Jack. And Joey Styles answered, listen to everything and only believe half of it. So if New Jack says he's killed 4 people, justifiable homicides, that means he's at least killed 2.
Yeah, I believe that.
So, and I think the story has changed with New Jack. I think he left with a clear conscience, but really leaned into his robberies and such by the end of his life.
Hey, God bless.
Yes. Keep thinking about calling this podcast hosted by Colt Cabana called Wrestling Anonymous and asking, what do you think about Schadenfreude? Because I have a story. So I'm 2 months into wrestling. It was a promotion called Next Generation Wrestling in Peoria. This is before I hooked up with Danny Daniels, so really getting an understanding of the business. So our promotion, we got a guy who was conning, basically to get some control in the promotion. He was conning us into a association with Thunder Wrestling Federation in New Brunswick, Georgia. So we were Thunder Wrestling Federation North. They were Thunder Wrestling Federation South. They came up to do a show in December 2002. So we went to do their New Year's show in 2003. And so this leaves me 2 months into the business. And as I say, this is a promotion where I was telling my friends when I joined them, I think I can debut in 2 weeks. I did not debut in 2 weeks. It was 3. So needless to say, it was a far cry from what I would eventually learn. So we're doing this show in New Brunswick, Georgia. Closest city is Jacksonville. And in this match, I get double drop. So, I mean, there's a lot of drama behind it. I was supposed to be wrestling this one guy, and then this tag team, they didn't know that was going to show up or not, showed up, and they just teamed me and that guy together. I get tagged into the match. I take they whip me off. They give me a double drop kick, and then they land on me during the kick. So I get knocked out. You can see me go unconscious. They cover me 1, 2, smart enough to pull me up, roll me to my corner, tag in, have me tag out. And I regain consciousness on the apron, get into the ring on the next tag, throw a couple forearms, and then just arms drop, concussed stare. And then I got back in the ring. It's my fault. So I end up getting at least a kendo stick shot. I get smacked with the Complete Idiot's Guide to Professional Wrestling, which was my prop. I get a spine busted on the floor. So that's the only time I've ever time traveled, and I've been knocked out by a UFC fighter. So Thunder Wrestling Federation, though, is where New Jack did a show and thought a kid was working a little stiff with him. Stabbed him 9 times. I'm kind of thinking, yeah, go New Jack on that one. So that's my wrestling Schadenfreude story, and yeah, I can't really feel too bad for those guys. The guy didn't die.
Yeah, you kind of at that point, like, you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Act right, for sake. He will kill you.
Yep. So
Yeah, I always had mad respect for New Jack. As much people talk shit about him, I always kind of felt like, well, I mean, if you know anything about the world of professional, I've never personally been involved with it, but I've heard the stories over the years. And it's like, well, I mean, they knew who they were dealing with. They shouldn't have been a fucking dipshit.
Well, you say that, but that's
But
where
again,
the
I'm not involved. I
well.
just watch YouTube videos and talk
Oh,
shit.
oh yeah, no, I understand. I understand that, and I appreciate that stance because I got myself into trouble with a podcast, another podcast. I had a guest on this show talk about the movie Dance of the Dead. Ended up doing 2 episodes on it. That's how long the conversation went. And then I went and listened to his podcast. First episode was all right. Second podcast, it was the podcast is called Morbidly Macabre, and I think since I've withdrawn myself from the listening, it may have improved or become less obnoxious. Primarily one host, the guy I had on the podcast, Mitchell Witt. The next, so I listened to their first episode about Columbine, and all right, pretty fact filled. Showed a lot of empathy towards towards the people. Maybe a little too understanding of the, well, as you said, a lot of empathy. So maybe too understanding to one shooter, but I digress. They made a good case for it, and then they did Chris Benoit the next one, and I just I don't want to shout at my podcasting device when I'm listening to a podcast. It's not my place to be involved. It was kind of more of me just be, so it's like, it's not like they didn't get the facts about Benoit wrong. It was just that, oh, this is how the business works and stuff. And it's like, no.
No, it doesn't have to work like that.
It's so, I don't know, maybe I was more bitter that, okay, he did my podcast. I think it's only fair I do that. Yeah, like if you're going to do that episode, but I digress. I mean, it's a different world. And I think a lot of the time it's almost scary to actually criticize somebody that you like, especially in podcasting, because they're doing it for themselves, for the most part, and I'm not going to question, I'm trying to create something here, but it's me first. So, but with that said, please give me those 5-star reviews on iTunes. That's the only way it helps the algorithm. You want to tell me I'm a piece of garbage? That's at Twitter. That's twitter.com/catbus @catbusruss. Talk all the crap you want there. I do troll the trolls, so I'm used to it. Let's see. Honestly, I'm looking for a transition there, and well, I guess we could bring up Bloodsport. As they say, that movie has a huge impact. I think I knew it had a huge impact on martial arts. I was studying Taekwondo at the time when that movie came out. And that was what everybody was talking about, saying how ridiculous it was. And yeah, I did the math this time around. So the Kumite, if we saw all 10 of Chung Lee's fights, that would imply the tournament had 512 fighters.
Yeah, the math sounds about right.
So in the end credits, when they're talking about how legit Frank Dukes was, he said he retired from the Kumite 329-0 from 1975 to 1980. Now, if I listen to the movie right, the tournament's only held, this is where all Frank Dukes stuff falls apart. The tournament is held every 5 years. So that would mean he'd have to have fought 164 fights per tournament if it was only 2 tournaments. If it was 5 tournaments, it would be 65 fights each year. Now, as from my time as a folk style wrestler in high school, junior high school, even grade school, the most matches anybody could wrestle in a day was 4. Now, if you do the math, stretch it out, I guess you could do 12 fights in a day. I mean, yes, we had Illinois High School Athletics Association, not the Korakukai as our
yeah, you didn't have Yakuza
body
standing over your wrestling matches in high school.
Well, it was triads in Bloodsport, which
okay, well,
either
way,
yeah. Well, that interview I saw of Chevello with Frank Dukes. Frank Dukes still did the coin trick. As I say, I think he's a legit badass, but he uses that to create all nothing but fiction around him.
He reminds me of like an uncle that just tells crazy stories and knows some tricks. Is what he
Well,
just strikes me as.
yeah, but uh,
I mean, did you ever hear what happened to the sword that he supposedly won after the Kumite?
I think that like Chevello asked all the questions, like what, how did it? So this is what he heard. Like it's been a while since I watched the interview. Obviously, it was, but yeah, no, I know the tournament was supposed to be in the Caribbean. I mean, he changes the facts every time somebody answers asks a new question. I mean, he's a sociopath. No question there. And when you claim to be friends with your best friend is Steven Seagal, you're
What happened to that guy?
yes. Well, maybe his movies were too long. I mean, I loved Marked for Death, but at an hour 50, it's you know.
Oh man, what a ridiculous human being that guy turned into.
Yeah, I think I've only seen one of his movies that qualifies for 90 for Chill the podcast, and that was Against the Dark, which I thought, okay, this has to be gold. It's Steven Seagal versus vampires. You got Keith David in a supporting role. You got Lyndon Ashby from Mortal Kombat in another supporting role. Well, those guys, like, no, it didn't work out. You had The Rock, one of The Rock's cousins, pretty much did all the fighting.
No shit.
Yeah.
Then I had the same thoughts with Black Eagle. It was the third movie we did. It was Van Damme and Sho Kosugi. I thought, oh no shit, they are both in the same movie? That's gotta be awesome. It sucks. Oh my god, it is boring. It was so disappointing.
Well,
I wanted to like it so bad.
Well, I don't know if I can ever really watch a Sho Kosugi movie when the first one I saw of his is Ninja 3 The Damnation. I mean, Ninja 3 The Domination. Yeah. I apologize to Canon Film Group for saying The Damnation because no, it's
okay. I think those guys are dead now.
One of them is, yes. Yeah, no, honestly, I can't complain too much about that company. Delta Force.
They had gold.
I'm sorry?
They had gold, man.
Oh, I mean, you talk about Van Damme, you had Bloodsport from those guys. And Cyborg, which is a horrible, I mean, I don't know. I can't call it horrible because I love that director, Albert Pion. I mean, his movie, he's not.
He wrote that movie under Kitty Chalmers.
Right. He's a Albert Pion. He's willing to take on the ridiculous premises, especially and when his most famous movies are definitely 20 years ahead of what we're capable of doing, and he's going to do it anyhow.
He gets a lot out of very little.
Yeah, but when you say very little, that's talent, and like he's I mean, my favorite one of his movies. I'm still looking for some way to watch it now instead of just picking up an old VHS tape. Is called Heat Seeker with Gary Daniels, who I'm a huge fan of his stuff. He was the Brit. That was the name of his character in The Expendables.
Okay.
Yeah, he was also like it took I don't know like he was gold but made for video gold but Hollywood is very reluctant putting a very British guy as a star. So there's a movie he was in called Firepower. The main drawing force is it was Ultimate Warrior's only movie.
Okay. Yeah, I never watched it.
It's fun. But your protagonist is actually one of the lackeys from Johnny Lawrence's gang from the Cobra Kai was the lead actor. So
okay.
It wasn't the put him in a body bag guy. It was I think the first guy, Daniel-san, beats. But
yeah, I haven't. I've been thinking about rewatching Karate Kid. I started watching Cobra Kai on Netflix, and I have vague memories of Karate Kid when I was a child, and I barely even remember it.
well, I only saw the first two Karate Kids, and I haven't. I don't actually have Netflix right now. I'm more of a movie guy, so I'd rather, if I'm going to spend $15, I'll do it on HBO Max.
Yeah, I hear that. I just watch my girlfriend's account. I barely even watch it. I don't know.
But
Recent things I get burned out on.
You know, once I saw in season 3 they brought the Japanese guys back. I'm really missing something. And then on top of that, they bring back Elizabeth Shue. So
It is a good it's just ridiculous enough, and there's enough fan service in it.
And
I'm not super familiar with Karate Kid, but there's enough in it I recognize.
Right, but I can tell you this: it's for the Karate Kid fans, and those fans are anywhere. Well, I mean, it's Gen X Prime, so anywhere from my age at 41 to 59. Like, these are the people who watched it, and 59 is probably a little not really. It's fun that they don't care about the language now for the most part in that show. It's like, no, we know our audience. They grew up with this. This is why the movie's here.
Yeah, I really like Johnny's point of view too.
Oh, well, I mean, the sheer fact that he should have, there should have been at least a point penalty taken away on Daniel with that kick instead of a victory declared.
Yeah, that is a major point of contention in the first couple episodes.
Yes.
It's an illegal kick.
Well, I mean, to clear things up, you can kick somebody in the head. You can't kick somebody in the face. From my time, at least in the competitive martial arts.
Huh.
So, let's see. Getting into some other little things I picked up about this. I'll just run down.
Oh, here's a little thing.
Right.
On Showdown, in England, straight to VHS, you can win a Neo Geo.
That is probably that's almost that explains why the movie didn't make any money. Like, you're going to give away one Neo Geo? That's probably half of your budget right there.
I know, right?
So, with Showdown, I mean, we got the ridiculous stunts. Basically, it took buddy cop comedy to a new extreme because, as we were pointing out, like, Brandon Lee's always trying to be on. And, like, no, let's be human for a few moments. And you never get that between Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, they had some decent back and forths.
Oh, no, I'm saying there's great bits of dialogue. Oh. I mean, exploring why Japanese culture, man. My dad's a white guy. He's a dentist. I know malls, driving up and down Mulholland in my dad's car. There's plenty. I mean, I'll go and say, aside from the dick measuring contest, all the dialogue's gold, especially Yoshida's. Like, now you have one hand to wipe your ass with. Do you want to keep it?
It's so good, man. I loved it. I loved that fucking movie.
But, with that said, I think my biggest problem right now with Showdown in Little Tokyo is with the world of microbrews, where is the 30th year celebratory batch of Red Dragon beer? If we can't get the beer, at least give us the meth.
Yeah. I have more movies to watch. I'm behind on shit.
So, all right. So did the math on how the mathematically proving Frank Dukes is, regardless if he can kick my ass, which, well,
mathematically speaking,
well, by the sheer number of fights he claims, I would still take a shot. I mean, five.
Yeah, he's old. You got a shot.
Oh, he's blind in one eye. I know that, but no, five figures I'll take on about any fight. I'm the only guy I ever really thought like, yeah, don't take that chance for glory is the wrestler Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger. Like Brock Lesnar, I mean, I know he's 6'4" and 285. For me in high school wrestling, I wrestled up 2 weight classes for the most part. You know, I'm used to that difference. I'm probably better handling that difference. Jake Hagar being probably 6'8", 280, 290. If I can't reach the guy's head, I'm gonna that's somebody I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
But it brings me back to Bloodsport, talking about professional wrestling, and it brings me to a wrestler, Colt Cabana, who really brought up the fact that like he loves the movie and he'll talk about it to no end. I think about a lot of it when I took a seminar with him before I was training with Danny Daniels, still faking my way for the business. And he bring up Bloodsport, and then like I'm passing it on to guys like, no, if you're gonna sell something, if you're gonna try to make a move look a lot meaner, immediately think of Chung Lee. The methodical nature of everything the guy does in the movie, cranking a guy's arm, bringing him into a position, and then pushing the pressure point. It's so methodical. I mean, if anything, and people wanting professional wrestling to be more like it was, that's the stuff you should be watching and taking note of, how to make everything just sell more just through facials and such. I mean, that's one of the Bolo Young as Chung Lee is just one of the greatest martial arts performances of all time.
Oh yeah, dude,
Smack.
awesome in that movie. Who's the guy in Kickboxer too? That guy was freaky.
Yeah, I remember the guy's name is Tong Po. The character name is Tom Po. He was actually not Thai, if I'm correct. He was one of Van Damme's martial arts friends, and he's actually in Bloodsport. He's the guy who gets Chong Li breaks the leg of just for kicks.
Oh yeah,
I
didn't notice that.
Tall Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just kicking that wall, and he just walks in, and they're just staring at each other briefly, and his face just looks
Smack.
Yep. So,
mean.
But,
fun fact: Kickboxer was called Karate Tiger 3 in Germany.
Well, that makes as much. Well, I guess since it's kickboxing, and kickboxing is the universal art, not Muay Thai. I think I've only seen one movie called Muay Thai anything. That was Muay Thai Giant with former professional wrestler Nathan Jones.
Huh.
He's Nathan Jones, I think, is just the go-to guy that Tony Jaa likes to beat up on. You know, he's Undertaker height, evil white guy. So
yeah, I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, he's in the new Mortal Kombat, if you get around to seeing that.
Okay, I did see that.
Yeah, very brief. He gets I mean, that's the problem with the new Mortal Kombat, is that it doesn't really take the tournament fighting too seriously.
Oh yeah, that, and just that the whole lore is dumb to me. Like that's with the tattoos and whatnot. So you're telling me like a drunk driver can run you over, and now he's an Earthrealm defender all of a sudden?
Well, it would explain why we lost 9 tournaments in a row.
It really does. We just got a bunch of people that can't fight, and it's sucked in all of a sudden. What the
Smack.
is this shit? Where am I? And all of a sudden, Baraka's slicing their head off.
Yeah, so I think it may have been Baraka, actually, that Nathan Jones was.
Really?
Yeah, so, but...
was he in Snatch?
No, that's Vinnie Jones.
Okay.
No,
all right.
Nathan Jones, big bald guy. As I say, if you've seen The Protector, he's like the last boss.
Yeah, I'd notice him if I saw him.
Yeah. So another observation about Bloodsport is Jean-Claude Van Damme is basically doing a striptease the entire tournament.
Yeah, had to do something for the
he-
ladies.
Well, but I'm just saying he starts the first day in a full gi. Second night of the tournament, first fight, you got that one guy ripping it off the top, and by the third fight, for no reason, maybe it was to do that split punch, but I don't think he really planned that out to beat the sumo guy. By the third fight, he's in biker shorts. One, if your martial arts requires a gi, which is why I'm not a big MMA guy, it's like, all right, for this unified rule set, basically fight to as close to naked as you can, except don't pull the guy's hair. Like, that's my problem with MMA. It's like, no, martial art, it's not supposed to be, well, I guess I'm a fan of no holds barred, not MMA. No holds barred is still favors styles. MMA is like, just take this piece, fake it, and get to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, if I knew MMA would have been what MMA was to become, maybe I wouldn't have gone into professional wrestling. I would have gone into MMA. Like, oh, I no longer have to be the best jiu-jitsu guy or the best Muay Thai guy. I can just combine, take a piece here, take a piece there.
Yeah, but you'd have to get through those first UFC years and everyone was on roids and just smashing each other.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't get through that. That was a time, but they hadn't figured out. All you have to do is take this part. Oh, there's rules now, meaning I can.
Yeah.
Like, no, a good fight, like in Bloodsport, a good fight ends in 2 minutes.
Yeah, sounds about right for a real fight.
Well, for a real fight, yeah, you don't get the time to dance around the ring, try to figure out your opponent. Granted, I don't think there's any charm in street fighting, hence why I will kick a guy in the balls first thing. It's like, no, we're not going to be here. There's I mean, I try to, as the line from Showdown in Little Tokyo, when Brandon Lee, if you're all right, if we're gonna go any further, we're gonna talk about it now, or are you gonna go alone? I'll go alone. That's not good enough. That's it, you Zen warrior smacking asshole. That's what I strive to be, a Zen warrior effing asshole.
Yeah, I'm mostly just a coward.
Well, there's a British comedy series which I adore called Red Dwarf. It used to be shown on PBS all the time. I blame my mom for exposing us to PBS, because not that she exposes to PBS, is that PBS would bring in all the British comedy. Oh, it's on PBS. It's sophisticated. Yeah, Mom, I learned the word twat on PBS. Red Dwarf's basically a space opera comedy. And there's, all right, we should go, and we don't have a choice. We got to go and take this. No, we can just go and we can find a new way around. One of the characters, who's a felis sapien, basically, after 3 million years of evolution, cats have become human. There's an old cat saying, it's better to live a day as a tiger than a lifetime as a worm. And our coward character responds, and there's an old human saying, who's ever heard of a worm skin rug?
Solid point.
Yes.
Yeah, I was more of a Hitchhiker's guy. Red Dwarf is one of those things that's always popped up in my queue. I just never took the time to watch it.
Oh, well, and truthfully, I haven't taken the time to watch all of Hitchhiker's Guide. I love the movie, and I know that's kind of a blasphemous statement in several circles.
Well, if it wasn't for the movie, I'd have no idea what Hitchhikers was.
Well, that's been a common theme actually with the podcast. As I said with the Spiral podcast, talking to the only couple that was in the movie theater with me, and how the girl, and that's why I like the Star Wars sequels. People want to claim their own thing. People get introduced to it, and once they get introduced to it, that's theirs. And I can kind of respect that. I guess I should be less brutal towards fans of Twilight and the Hunger Games saga.
Oh no, you don't. They deserve it.
No,
They
no,
deserve
no,
every
no.
bit of
I
what they
said
get.
I guess I should be. I didn't say I was. That
All right.
I mean, read a book. I don't know. That's just total elitism. I'm a guy who faked my literature degree. Uh, I mean, yeah, no, I that's the advantage of having an older sister who's socially awkward. You can't talk to people. I get to hear. I'm the only person she talks to, so I get to hear every detail about every book she's ever read, and then spin that into a degree.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, there are things in the Hunger Games that is pretty metal. There are things in Hunger Games I think are really cool. I think the
Well,
world's cool. There's just moments in it that are neat. That you lose me with the tween romance stuff.
well,
Everything
have
else is cool to me, man.
yeah, but have
Twilight, no irredeemable qualities whatsoever.
I did do a brief review of Twilight on this podcast. I hated it, but I know what it's doing, and it's sad that it succeeded at what it's doing. As for the Hunger Games, first three movies are all right. Then the fourth movie just goes off the rails, and which is weird because that's supposed to be the same book as the third. But I digress. But the problem with the Hunger Games is I've seen Battle Royale.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Yeah, so you stretch the I mean, Battle Royale is a longer movie. I mean, and I think it's just a thing with culturally. I think, as my older sister pointed out, she is the poetic critic on Letterboxd, the poetic critic, all one word. She pointed out that I think at that time in the 80s, like there were, I think comedies were more likely to run over. Like you had your high art, you had your Amadeus, but comedies were more likely to run over 2 hours just because they want to get every joke in. Like I wouldn't cut a single bit about the Blues Brothers, but that might be Illinois bias. But it was basically in the 80s, we were actually watching music videos and we did not want long form entertainment. We wanted everything to be no longer than an hour and 45 minutes. And I think the MTV not being as prevalent, actual old cultures in Europe and Japan, China, and all that bollocks, they could sit through about anything. So, but the point still remains with the Hunger Games. Look, if you need 4 movies to do that's the worst thing about the Hunger Games is I think it even takes a second battle royale into consideration. So, all right, you need 12 hours to do what they did in 6. There's a problem.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to money too. They were making money, so they're going to stretch that out for as long as possible.
Well,
Squeeze every cent.
Well, that's a gamble I don't see as practical. Like you are immediately like the moment you buy the property, and you hire the actors for 4 movies. You are like I think the franchise stuff all kind of stopped after the Divergent series ended up. Like we had enough of it.
Oh yeah, that was a series, wasn't it?
Right. And I'd say maybe 2-3 good movie. I mean, there's only 3 movies. I could say 2 of them or maybe 2 of them are worthwhile. But it's like there comes a point of diminishing returns. Like that's a lot of time and money to devote to one idea.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with why Showdown Low Tokyo didn't make as much money as they thought it would, because it was really at the end of like the buddy cop thing. It was right at the end of that.
No, I could say Showdown in Little Tokyo didn't make any money because Warner Brothers didn't have any faith in it.
Well, yeah.
Like they decided they didn't like the movie, and I don't think they did any cuts or anything. They just like we just got to go, and we owe this to Mark Lester and his producing buddy to get this film released. So we're just gonna release it. I mean, it was the number 9 movie of the entire year in Hungary. So like it could have been more 90, but I don't think it's necessarily the end of the buddy cop. It's more of that was kind of the beginning of the blockbuster era. Not the I mean, I know we always had the blockbuster era since Jaws, but I should say the beginning of the failed start of the comic book era. So
okay, so you like the
Batman, you had Batman in 89, and then you had
Corman Fantastic Four.
Well, no, that was more of just trying to get off the Batman, and that's actually more of just making a movie so you keep the rights. No, then I'd say you had Darkman in 1990. 91, I guess you'd say Highlander 2. Like, we needed something.
Highlander wasn't really a superhero movie, though.
Darkman
is kind of like a weird.
It's a comic book. It's a comic book movie
is.
without a comic book. Highlander 2. No, that was total magical bullshit.
Yeah, but man, do I love me some magical bullshit.
Well, no, I'm not saying I don't own a copy of Highlander 2.
Well, of course you do.
Right, but it's
Yeah, Darkman's something else I've been wanting to revisit lately.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because Sam Raimi is directing Spider-Man No Way Home. And
is he directing that? I didn't know that.
I think he's at least a producer, which could explain why we're getting all the old original Spider-Man trilogy back in it. Let me see.
After the last Spider-Man, I'm going to watch the new one. It's just my expectations are low. I'm just keeping my expectations low.
Okay, no, the director is John Watts, but Sam Raimi's got a lot of influence, and I'm thinking that'll be a good thing. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch Far From Home to see if it's just Marvel fatigue versus it's not that good a movie. But I think Sam Raimi, if he's involved, he's going to make this the third Spider-Man movie that he really wanted to make. So
yeah, it definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah, so
whenever they start pulling more from the Marvel universe, I'll nerd out on that shit all day long.
Well, I do worry about the success of Shang-Chi, but I'm going to see it because it's a Marvel movie from Marvel Studios Direct, not Sony.
They automatically have my money for all of that stuff, man. I watch it all.
But my issue is that Shang-Chi is just not a catchy title, sadly.
Well, nobody gave a shit about Shang-Chi in the comic books. No one cares about Shang-Chi. No one cared about him growing up. I don't know a single person who ever owned a Shang-Chi comic book ever in the history of ever.
Right, but I didn't know anybody who owned a Guardians of the Galaxy issue.
So I knew Guardians of the Galaxy as a totally different team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just basically that was something that I think half of the success of Guardians is based on the fact we didn't know what Guardians was. If you're me, So Shang-Chi, I think is going to be good. It's just that the title is just not going to really inspire anybody to go out. I joked around with my dad about that. Like, at least Black Panther, you knew what you were getting. And then my dad said, so you want Yellow Tiger? And it's like, no, yeah, the Asian culture hasn't really adapted to the assigning themselves a color yet.
Good Iron Fist would have been nice.
Well, I mean, Iron Fist I was kind of forgiving of just because of how much good stuff Marvel gave us, and I'm not somebody who's on the appropriation bandwagon when it came to Iron Fist. It's like I'm pretty sure it's Danny Rand regardless. Like,
yeah, it is.
It's a white guy taking Chinese culture. I know that, but
they saved him. The monks saved him.
Yes,
and raised him. He didn't have a choice.
I mean,
he didn't just get out from the plains. Like, I think I'll appropriate Asian culture now.
Yeah, but it's still like, so everybody go see Shang-Chi opening weekend, because I mean, I'm a bleeding heart liberal communist. Like, I think we owe it to ourselves to see it.
No, I hope it'll be. I'm sure it'll be great. I mean,
Yeah.
I love kung fu movies anyway. I'm
Well,
sure it'll be
yeah.
awesome.
But no, my favorite kung fu movie might straight up kung fu movie might be Master of Tai Chi. So it's Jet Li. I think it was called maybe Fist of Legend. I don't know.
Oh, I think I saw it under the Fist of Legend title.
I mean, it's got Michelle Yeoh in it. Yeah. So it wasn't when it was on Stars, and it was Fist of Legends. Let me go and quickly look that up. All right. And, I will also say Keanu Reeves' directorial effort, which was A Man of Tai Chi, I think it was. A really good film I'd recommend. Now, that might be... well, we can blame the Canadians for that one. I think it might be Tai Chi Master, actually.
Possibly. I was a big Bruce Lee fan. I like the old Fist of Fury, Turn of the Dragon. I like those old classics, the Sonny Chiba Street Fighters.
All right. Tai Chi Master is the name of the movie. And the original name of the movie, which was fun watching the dub on Stars and Encore, just because it had like the anime dubbing cast that I'm used to. What is Teacher Fujisawa doing as an... Oh no, he's just a drunk. Oh, it was Twin Warriors. That was what it was called in the States.
Oh, okay.
So Michelle Yeoh, but I just love the, like, it made me take Tai Chi seriously for a moment. A brief moment. Thanks for ruining that, YouTube. But I don't know, unless you have any other well, I guess I do have one other thing, and it's the finale from Bloodsport. Now, as an amateur wrestler who's always ended up wrestling in a mask my junior and senior year somehow. Like, junior year, I got my nose broken. Senior year, I nearly got my lip ripped in half by a knee.
Ouch. Yeah,
so I ended up wrestling in a mask, and those masks, you can't really see anything once the match starts. It's wrestling. As long as I can grab a hold of it, got a body part, I feel fine. So it comes to the finale of Bloodsport, where Chung Lee, Bolo Young, who also faces off with Van Damme again, I think in Double Impact, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Throws the classic wrestling salt tablet into the eyes of Van Damme. Like, oh, he's blind. How's he going to do that? And it's like, dude, I just saw, 1, wrestling. 2, I just watched G.I. Joe, the movie, with the character Jinx, the unlucky ninja. But if she goes and blindfolds, she's unbeatable. Like, no, I don't know how to really, like, I understand in a striking match, I don't want to be blind. But is it really that hard, though, if I can, all you have to do is, like, wait for him to throw a kick and grab it like they do in Muay Thai. And I'm just saying, don't trust a guy who says they're blind, I guess. It's the end of that one.
Yeah, you kicked that stick right out from underneath him.
No. So there's 2 things I will not do. I will not fight Jake Hager, and I will not kick a walking... Oh, geez, that just reminds me.
You won't kick a blind man.
I won't kick a blind man's walking stick.
Okay, but you'll kick his dog.
Yeah, see, when it comes to puppy punting, the only time I ever felt like that was walking, just chilling out in the north side of Chicago after Cubs game. I'm at the Getaway Hostel out by the DePaul University campus. And it's just, I see bowls of dog food and water at every place. And it's like, oh, as a cat person, I just feel offended. But it's like, oh, it's great that they're doing this. Oh, it's great that they're doing this. You know what? Screw these dogs. I want to kick, I want to kick a dog. And it's like, and I brought that up with my former hairdresser. She said, "No, Russ, you don't kick the dog. If you're gonna kick anybody, you kick the owner." And then it's like, but if you kick the owner, the dog's gonna run off into the street. This is Clark Street in Chicago. It's gonna get squished. Like, everybody feels guilty in the end. No, kick the dog. That will be.
Sometimes you have to, man. Those smackers get huge. I've seen plenty. Have you ever seen dogs fight? Two giant ass pit bulls. You got to kick those smackers off.
Well, the thing with dog fighting is, as somebody like, myself who loves a good fight, maybe some of these dogs have fighting spirit, like in Bloodsport. You didn't flinch. You have fighting spirit. Like,
yes,
are we
those dogs are champions?
Yes, yeah. Why are we depriving him that? All right, now.
For the record, I wasn't talking about actual dog fighting. Just when two dogs start fighting. I've been around dogs for a lot of my life.
Oh, I could.
Those smackers will fight. They will attack. They will get jealous.
Yeah. So. Well, so I don't have any more points to make about Showdown in Little Tokyo or Bloodsport.
Oh no, I'm sure we could keep going, but I do have to go to bed at some point.
We are pushing that 137-minute mark right now. Not 137, 1 hour 37-minute mark. So I think it's best to get winding down. As you said, you have your Rob Van Dam podcast. I mean, your Jean-Claude and hopefully Rob Van Dam podcast.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be putting out the first episode here in about a week or so.
All right, very cool. And if they want to follow you, Greg, on social media, I know you're on Facebook, obviously. That's how I found you.
Gregory Carl on Facebook. That's probably about the best one. I got a Twitter I don't use. I don't think I even remember the login for it anymore.
Are you still doing any stand-up or...
Not really. I'm kind of locked in with a different job, and we got one car that tends to overheat. And
okay, yeah, all right.
Not really in a stand-up kind of place in my life right now, but hopefully soon. I'm taking notes and writing.
Very, very good, very good. I could probably. I don't know how much sway I have with Dan Conklin at the Jukebox Comedy Club, jukeboxcomedy.com, but I'm always willing to put a good word to you. Me and him relate to each other, similar dealings with strippers.
I really should have talked to him more in my life. I've been to the Jukebox. I used to go a lot for the open mics and whatnot. I always liked it. I don't know. I'm shy and I'm in my own head when I'm up there. It's not the greatest way to meet people.
No. I'm in professional wrestling and I'm trying to be what was the quote again? What was my aspiration?
Zen warrior asshole.
Smacking asshole, yeah.
Zen warrior asshole.
Zen warrior smacking asshole. Basically, I got an argument last night about Bret Hart, and Bret Hart was a shit. Like, no, he wasn't. He was Frank Dukes. He's the guy you want to be, you honorable. And I got a response was, so you're just in a long way saying that Bret Hart sucks. All right. Well, you can find me as always. 90forchill.com is the website. All my writing is at maineventofthedead.com. If you would like to help me out with the production of my Z budget zombie professional wrestling comedy, Main Event of the Dead, visit maineventofthedead.com. Send me an email at russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. There, you can also, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, send me an email, or you can follow me on Twitter at CatBusRuss. Send me a DM. And all you need is a movie, a theme, an actor, a director. As long as we focus on sub 100-minute movies, we have a show. So thank you again, Greg. Great meeting you for the first time. And I wish you the best with your Van Damme podcast. And you're more than welcome to come back on 90 for Chill, the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was great talking to another adult that wasn't hammered for once.
I can't promise you that.
Well, you're more coherent than my co-host.
Well, no, I'm warmed up, but the moonshine doesn't usually kick in until the hour 40 mark. So,
right on, buddy. All right.
Well,
till next time.
Till next time. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you.
Can I hear a wahoo?